Hi everyone, I'm here today with another Christmas theme layout. This is going to be a double page layout and it's going to have an elf theme. Last year my husband and we had Elf on the Shelf, and I have several pictures from that I wanted to scrapbook on one layout. But if you wanted to use this just as a regular Christmas layout, it'd be very easy to adapt it. So I am using the Paper Studio Cozy Little Christmas paper stack. And I'm also using some of the individual open stock sheets that are also from the Paper Studio. So I have a border piece that I'm going to put together first. This red snowflake paper was cut at 11.5 inches by 4 1/4 of an inch. And I have this piece of craft cardstock that is 11.5 inches by 4 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to adhere those together. And then I have two white border pieces. So they are just regular white cardstock. And I use my Martha Stewart snowflake punch to punch the edge. And I thought that it coordinated really well with the snowflakes on this paper. So these are my two border pieces, and I'm just going to adhere one to the top and one to the bottom. So now I have this piece of green chevron. This was cut at 11.5 inches by 11 inches. And I'm going to adhere my border piece right in the middle. So it's going to go flush on the edges and then right in the center. Now I have two border pieces. I have one for the bottom of the page and one for the top of the page. So I've taken this music paper, and it has the words "On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me." So it's like the music paper for the song. And this is cut at 11.5 inches by 1 inch, and then I put a regular scalloped border underneath of that. So what I'm going going to do it with the top one. I think I'm actually doing that backwards. Yeah, I'm just going to adhere glue to the first half of it because I have some die cut pieces that I want to adhere underneath. These little die cuts, these are from Little Scraps of Heaven's Designs. This is Banners Volume 2, and it is the Banner Style A. So I have taken a font that, it's one of the fonts that I downloaded onto my computer for free, and it's called Santa Sleigh. And when you download it, it has a couple of different versions, and I used the bold version. So I just typed out my year and then adhered them to my banner. So I'm just going to tuck these right underneath of my border piece up here so that it overlaps. And these are cut, the banner itself is cut at 2 inches, and then the numbers are cut at 1 1/4 of an inch in height. And now I can go ahead and adhere some more glue and finish adhering my border strip. Okay, so I'm going to put this aside for a second and work on my other base piece. I have this red snowflake paper, which is the same as the one in my middle border, and it is cut down 11 1/4 of an inch by 11 inches. I have this hollyberry paper, and this is cut down, just want to double check. It is 5 1/2 inches by 11 inches, and I've adhered one of the same scallop borders right behind it. So I'm just going to do 3 sides of that because I'm going to slide something underneath of there, and I'm going to adhere this right to the edges of my page. And now I have this semicircle. So I created a circle at 8 inches and then just used the knife in my Silhouette Studio to slice it down a little bit over from half. I've created a shadow for it, and I also created this little smaller piece of the circle. that I wanted to layer on top. It's nice to have that the knife feature because I can cut the pieces of the circles or whatever shape I'm using. I can just cut them right in the program, and then I don't have to cut out, you know, 2 whole circles and then trim it down with my paper trimmer, because that would actually waste a lot of paper that I'm able to save. And now I have a piece of this red cardstock, and I'm just going to adhere it right between these 2 pieces, and then I'm going to trim it down with my scissors. I'm just going to take a little ink and go over it just to blend the edges together. Now I'm going to adhere it to the shadow. And now I'm going to slip this whole circle piece underneath of the holly berry border. And I'm going to try to do it about halfway. Now I'm going to lift my border, just put a little glue under there, and adhere it down. I have 2 more border pieces that are the same as my other base piece. So again, the measurements for this is the music paper is cut at 11.5 inches by 1 inch, and the scallop is cut lengthwise at 11.5 inches. So now I'm just going to go around and make sure that all of my edges line up. And if they don't, like some of my borders right here just sticking out just a little bit. I'm just going to take my scissors and trim them off. Okay, and now I can adhere these to the base of the layout. So I have a piece of white cardstock that is cut down 11 3/4 of an inch by, let me double check. Okay, it's 11 3/4 of an inch by 11 1/4 of an inch. And then my craft cardstock is 12 inches by 12 inches. So these are going to go flush to the edge and in the center. It's a pretty standard formula for me. I do this on almost all my layouts, but I just really like the way that it goes together. So I'm going to put these side by side, just so it's a little bit easier to get them lined up. Now we have the base of our layout finished, and now we can add our die cuts. So for this layout, my idea was that I wanted to have a really large elf, so I made this elf. And what I did is I just took all the pieces in my Silhouette Studio and I put them all together, and then I sized it at 11 1/4 of an inch. So he's almost, you know, the full length of the layout, which is what I wanted. Really like how he turned out. So I have him popped up on one layer of foam. Oh, this is from Little Scraps of Heaven's Designs. It's called Elf Holding a Sign, I think, or Elf with Sign. I'm going to put him right here on this little border that we've created with the holly berries. he is actually going to be holding a photo mat. I have his little hands here, and pretty much anytime I have my paper piecings holding something, I like to just put it together on the layout because it's easier to work with. Get everything, you know, positioned how I want it and glue it down, rather than trying to figure it out and then transfer it onto the layout. So this is a 3" by 3" photo mat on a 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 craft cardstock background. Now I'm going to add his little hands. Got a little glue on my elf, but zip dry, so I can just rub it off and it will come right off. It doesn't stain the paper or anything. So I have 3 more photo mats that are going to go on our border here. So I'm just going to try to line them up in the center. And these are the same size. They're 3" by 3" photos on a 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 base. For my title, I have his name, and we named our elf Mr. Jingles. So I used the same font, which is the Santa Sleigh font, and I just wrote out the name, and I cut it at length 5 inches, and then I created a shadow. So like I said, this would be really easy to change around. You know, you could put obviously a different elf's name, but you could put your family name, or maybe if you have pictures of your child or something, you could put their name, or you could just have it say like Merry Christmas or Christmas Eve or something like that. That's just going to go right here, and then later, after I put my pictures down, I'm going to do some journaling on the circle part, but I'm probably going to do something like tabs or little banner flags. So if you guys are interested in seeing that once I get my pictures printed out and my journaling finished, I can do like an updated picture of the layout. So that is the whole thing, and it's kind of simple, but I really like it. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you all have a great day.